Why is it that two people can learn the exact same tools to conquer binge eating, to have a better relationship with food, and one person conquers much faster than the other person? I've really studied this and examined this with many of the clients that I've worked with over the past few years. And I've noticed a pattern between people who conquer the fastest. Now, this is not a conversation about how fast can I stop binge eating, because the reality is it's a process, right? Like, rewiring your brain is the most sustainable way to conquer binge eating. And if you want to do things sustainably, obviously you can't be looking for a quick fix. But I've really looked at this and I've noticed patterns of people who've conquered faster than other people. And I want to share what that pattern is. So there could be two people. We're going to say person A and person B. So they both had an incredible month with food. Not binging, not overeating, feeling like an unstoppable badass in their own skin, stopping when they're full. Like, these two people both had incredible months. They're very proud of themselves. No matter how strong their urges were, they were able to not give in to them. They just have been feeling really proud of themselves and really good in their own skin. Both of them, after this incredible month, had one of the worst binges. Person A says, I failed. I messed up. I'm so mad at myself. That entire month of me feeling good, it went all down the drain. I can't believe that happened. I literally had such a good month and now everything has gone to crap. I'm such a failure. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? I guess, I don't know. See, every time it gets good, something happens. I always sabotage. That person is negatively speaking to themselves. They're looking at this binge as a failure. They are not focusing on the fact that they just had an incredible month with food. Their focus is now on this one binge. They feel like a failure. They're beating themselves up. They're not even celebrating the fact that they just had an incredible month, which honestly was like mind-blowing because they never even thought they would ever go a month without binging. And they completely bypass that. Now all they're doing is focusing on the fact that they just binged. Compared to person B. Person B, same thing, had an incredible month with food and then had one of the worst binges of their life. And although they're not happy about this, they say to themselves, this is part of the process. They have the emotional intelligence to say, having a binge is part of the process of conquering binge eating. Having a binge is part of the process of healing your relationship with food. And so that person, even though is pissed off, rightfully so, like, oh, why did I binge? I just had an incredible month, which is normal, but they see it as part of the process. They continue eating a nourishing meal at their next meal. They continue their healthy habits because they know it's part of the process. So person A sees it as a failure. I failed. What's wrong with me? See, I won't be able to conquer. That person, hi Mackenzie. That person ends up throwing in the towel. They have negative self-talk. They doubt themselves. They say, see, I'm not going to be able to conquer. Every time things go well, it's just a fluke. I'm going to wait for the other shoe to drop. It's too good to be true. And they sabotage, and then they end up having maybe even a week-long binge compared to person B, who says this is part of the process. I spent 10, 20, 30 years of my life struggling with food, and my relationship and binging, I'm not expecting myself to not have binges when I'm working on conquering binge eating. So that person sees it as part of the process, but they don't diminish the fact that they still had an entire month where they felt really good with food. They don't say, this one binge, see, I failed, I messed up. They say it's part of the process, and because they recognize, like, I'm not doing anything wrong, like, I don't love the fact that I binge and I did so well, but I still made great progress, and it's what I do now that actually matters. They still have a nourishing meal. They still wake up the next morning. If a strong urge comes on, they say, I'm not gonna give in. Compared to person A who thought that they failed, says, what's the point? I'm gonna give in. I had the worst binge yesterday. There's no point. I'm gonna give in. Do you see this mindset? This is everything. You can have all of the tools in the world, all of the knowledge in the world, but it's not enough. How you view your binges matters. When you see the fact that you binge as part of the process, you're going to conquer binge eating so much faster because you have a positive mindset. You have this rock solid badass mindset. You don't throw in the towel. You don't say there's no point of not giving into the next urge because I failed. You don't give into the next urge because you recognize that you still made incredible progress and you're going to continue becoming less impulsive with food. Jess is living this right now. Okay, Jess, which one? Person A or person B? Let me know. Which person? I binge out of habit and I can't stop no matter what. Yes, binge eating is a habit. You guys, I have an entire membership. It's the Root and Rewire membership that teaches you my exact process of how to start rewiring your brain, how to stop giving into your urges, because yes, it is a habit. Every single time you feel the urge to binge and you give in, you're further ingraining this habit into your brain. And so the fastest way to rewire your brain is you have to practice not giving in. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's very easy to say one more time. One more time. One more time. But it's such a busy day at work, just this one more time. Oh, but like there's only 3 cookies left, so I'm just going to finish the 3 cookies and then the package is going to be empty and then I won't have it. But it's never just that one time. So just as many times it's very easy to say, I'm going to give in one more time. You have to flip the script and say, I'm going to not give into the urge just one time. And then it actually makes it easier for you to continue not giving into your urges. Just like it's so much easier once you've given in once to keep on giving in. If you don't give into one urge, the next urge becomes less intense and that becomes easier. So Jess says A. So again, this is very common. It's like I remember when I used to binge, I used to say like, oh, you're so stupid. You failed. You messed up. Like, what's wrong with you? Especially when you know, like, you shouldn't be giving into your urges and then you do. It's very easy to have that negative self-talk because like, come on, you know better. You know better. Right? So it's not the fact that you had one of the worst binges of your life. It's not even about that. Because person B had one of the worst binges and they picked themselves back up. That's why they conquer faster. And I had such a great 7 weeks. Then I had a terrible couple days and I'm so down on myself. And this is the thing, you have to change how you're speaking to yourself. How do you feel when you say to yourself, you're a failure, you messed up, what the heck's wrong with you? There's no motivation to do better tomorrow. It's like, I feel like absolute crap. And then I'm making myself feel even worse by speaking negatively to myself versus like changing the way that you speak to yourself. And it's like, come on, Jess, you're a freaking badass. You got this. Do you know who you are? You're going to conquer. You got this. You got to spend the rest of your life present with your family, your partner, your children. You have the rest of your life. You got this, badass. Like calling yourself this badass because that's actually who you are. It's like, watch me. Watch me. I got this. I got this. It's like a different energy. And you guys, this is why it's so important to be part of our badass community. Like, I'm not only there as your coach and your mentor to lift you up and to remind you who the heck you are and how capable you are of conquering, but there's the other badasses who see you, who will help you rise into the woman that you actually are. Inside of the Root and Rewire membership, there's an entire badass community, and these people get you, but these people will also celebrate you and show you what you're freaking capable of. This is why my clients conquer, because they're not trying to do this on their own. You have someone cheering you on, and it's not like, come on, you got this. Like, it's like, we got this. We're in this together. I honestly think about junk food so often in the day. It's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. More people actually go through this than you think. Again, this is why it's so important to recognize like you're not alone in this. But it's I would say it's common, but it's not normal, right? And that's kind of where the people often feel embarrassed, because it's like, I don't think anyone else does it. But you don't have to shame yourself for that. It's more just recognizing like more people go through this than I actually think. But it doesn't mean that it's normal. So I'm going to get the support that I need so that I don't have to feel embarrassed. I used to think like no one else thinks about food as much as I do. And no one else eats super healthy all day and then eats 5 different sweets late at night. And I recognized more people do than I actually thought. But I didn't want to keep living my life like that. So I made some changes, and now haven't binged in over 5 years. It's going to be almost 6 years in January. Which is crazy. But again, how you speak to yourself matters. What you do after a binge matters. Do you throw in the towel, or do you say, I'm this badass and I got this? And then the next urge that comes on, you choose to not give in. Instead of saying, oh, I had one of the worst binges of my life, I'm a failure, see, I'm just going to keep binging, and then you keep giving in, compared to, like, I'm this badass. I got this. I'm still making progress. I didn't fail. It's part of the process. I didn't fail. It's part of the process. And again, it's really easy when you're kind of navigating this on your own to feel like I messed up. But I'll be your mentor and I'll be your coach, reminding you that you didn't mess up. That it's how you choose to speak to yourself afterwards that really matters. You be an a-hole to yourself and you'll spiral into a week-long binge. You speak to yourself like the badass that you are, and you'll have an incredible month. And binge-free months will start happening. You didn't just have the one binge-free month. It's going to happen on repeat when you recognize that binging and overeating is part of the process, that you didn't fail, that you didn't mess up. So this is really, really, really important. I've seen this with so many clients that I've worked with. And the people that conquer the fastest don't look at a binge as a failure. When you recognize that it's part of the process, you'll lift yourself up. You'll have an incredible, healthy, nourishing meal. That at the next meal, you'll continue all of your healthy habits, all of your brain-based tools. You'll more easily not give in to your next urge because you recognize like you're still making progress. You still get to feel really good. Everything didn't go down the drain. And you will make progress much faster than someone that sees it as a failure. So, this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. And like I said, inside of the Root and Rewire membership, not only do you learn all of these tools on how to stop giving into your urges, how to quiet the food noise, how to actually eat like a badass who respects herself to stop when she's full. You're part of our badass community who's going to help you rise into the woman that you know you are, who's going to help you, cheer you on when you don't give in to your next urge, that will help you recognize you're not alone in this. And I'll be your badass mentor that will help you rewire your brain in real time, just like I did in this video. I shifted your perspective. That's what rewiring your brain essentially is. It's shifting your perspective, and I can do this in real time on our coaching calls that we do every single month. So the Root and Rewire membership is a 6 or 12-month program. You learn my entire Root and Rewire process of how to actually rewire your brain out of these cycles so that it's not, I do well for 4 weeks and then I sabotage. And I had a binge-free month, but then I failed. If you want to start having binge-free months that happen on repeat, you got to actually rewire your brain. You got to stop giving into your urges. Stop saying to yourself one more time, it's never going to be one more time. Let me just grab my little babes. 1 second. Okay, honey, I'm coming. Come here. Okay, this is what happens when you have a newborn. Hi, look, little bean. This is little bean. For those of you guys who are listening on the podcast, you're like, what the heck is going on? Okay, you're going to be good, right? Because Mama's recording something right now. So it's 6 or 12 months, and you get monthly coaching with me. So this is where you can actually come on Zoom, and I can actually coach you in real time on how to quiet the food noise, how to not give in to your next urge, how to stop getting into the F it mentality when you eat something bad or off limits. You want to be able to stop thinking about food 24/7? I got you. You want to feel incredible in your own skin? I got you. You want to eat like a badass who actually respects yourself to stop when you're full? I got you. So monthly coaching with me, you learn all the tools. You're part of our incredible badass community. Every single one of my clients, I would say 99.9% of my clients who've conquered binge eating all started inside of the membership. And I'm only running one more round of the membership before doors close for good. So doors are closing on January 16th. And there's bonuses if you join before January 16th. So if you are like, I'm ready to make 2026 my binge-free year. I'm ready to spend the rest of my life feeling like an unstoppable badass in my own skin and finally cultivating a healthy relationship with food that I once dreamt of. Instead of looking at the people at the restaurant who can stop when they're full, that becomes you. If you want that to be your reality, you can message me membership and I will send you all of the details. But doors are officially closing for the membership January 16th. No one will ever be able to join the membership ever again. I'm doing one final round and that's it. So if you'd like to be part of this and you're like, yes, 2026 binge-free year, I'm ready, I'm committed. I want to do things sustainably. I'm so freaking done with the start and stop. I don't want to be beating myself up anymore. I want to speak to myself like the badass that I am. I want to eat like the badass that I am. I want to feel incredible in my own skin like the badass that I know I could be. You can message me membership and I'll send you all the details. And I'm so excited. There's special bonuses when you join before January 16th. So thank you guys for being here. I'm so fired up to help those of you guys who are going to be joining us inside of the membership. I'm giving it my all this last round that I'm running it. And so it's going to be amazing. So have an amazing rest of your day, you guys. I'm going to go spend the rest of my night with my little bean. Hi, baby. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye.